Whoa, I got one. How you doing, Jersey? Welcome to the Star Ledger Newsroom, Friday, August 15th. More huge Olympic news for New Jersey. Plainsboro swimmer Rebecca Soni captured the gold medal in the 200-meter breaststroke. Yesterday, our crew in Beijing has this report.
Hello everybody, this is Steve Politti from the Star Ledger. I'm joined by Manish Mehta. We are in Beijing, and today a very exciting story for New Jersey swimmer. Rebecca Soni wins the 200-meter breaststroke. It might have been the biggest upset of the game so far, at least in swimming. I mean, what happened today?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's probably, if not the biggest upset thus far, one of the biggest upsets. Rebecca, who was from Plainsboro, beat Liesl Jones from Australia, who had 10 of the fastest times in that event. Right. So obviously nobody expected her to win the event, even though that is Soni's strongest event.
Right, and this is her second medal. She's making a third in a relay coming up.
Yes, she'll be in the medley relay, swimming the breaststroke, and for somebody who wasn't expected to do much from people in the swimming world, she's done a lot so far.
And unfortunately, after everybody's asleep, the two U.S. gymnasts win gold and silver. I mean, a great story, great teammates, and I think it shows a lot after the controversy that was going on with the Chinese team. They kind of rose above that. Man.
Yeah, they didn't talk about that. They kind of avoided that. Nastia Lukin, who won the gold, and Shawn Johnson, who won the silver, the first two Americans to go 1-2 in the women's all-around in the history of the sport.
And it's only 1 o'clock here, 2 o'clock here for us, and we're done for the day. So thanks for watching.
And it's sunny outside.
And it's sunny outside for the first time. That might be the biggest news yet.
No smog.
We'll check in later in the week. Thanks.
All right, that sign outside the firehouse in Plainsboro that you saw refers to the other medal that Soni won, which is the 100-meter breaststroke she captured a few days ago. Now, for full Olympic coverage, log on to NJ.com/Olympics. We have a list there of all New Jersey Olympians. You can click on their names, and it gives you full coverage of all the stories we've written about them. I'm certain you are not going to find that kind of Jersey Olympics coverage anywhere else on the web. Okay. Today we're going to do something that we might occasionally do around here at Ledger Live, and that's kind of present a show that's built around a single theme. Since it's Friday, it's August, and we'd all probably rather be outdoors, we're going fishing. If not literally, then at least through a couple of videos that we have lined up. For the first video, we're going into the freshwater realm with a look at one guy who is literally responsible for almost making and putting the fish in the rivers and streams where you catch them. Check it out.
These walleye, born and raised in the Hackettstown Fish Hatchery, may be making their way to a lake near you. Hatchery Superintendent Craig Lemon explains the process of removing fish from the ponds they were raised in.
Big line of guys and girls, we're trying to drive the walleyes down to an area where we can net them, and then we're going to surround them with a 60-foot seine and try to drive them to that lower flume where we collect the seine up, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of fish.
The target number is 35 to 40,000 4-inch walleye that are collected, loaded on a tank truck, and stocked in designated lakes throughout the state. So what does all this hard work mean to the New Jersey angler? Well, the fishmaker believes the warm water fishery has never been better, and that state records are still out there waiting to be caught.
We fully expect to break some of these records here in the next few years on walleyes, maybe muskies, maybe tiger muskies. The pike record's real high, so we probably we won't see one, but you never know.
So what does the fishmaker think about what he does?
We've created a lot of recreational fishing opportunities for thousands and thousands of people around the state of New Jersey. The biggest reward is having these people show you pictures of fish, email you pictures of fish. The most rewarding part of the job. Makes all this hard work and dirty worthwhile.
And now to the ocean, and to the salt water. If you've ever been on a party boat, you've seen the thankless work that the mates on those boats do. Andre Malik turned the camera on one of those guys for a look at one of New Jersey's smelliest jobs. Check this one out.
Some fluke fishermen like to pick up some live killies before boarding the party boat angler out of the Atlantic Highlands Marina. But this mate, Brian Costello, is more than happy to take care of everything else to help customers catch fish.
Make sure we have bait. We have a freezer down below. Bring up all the bait. Mainly help people on and off for a while. Usually about a quarter after, start collecting the fares, get all that going. On the way out, we make the bait cups, pass them around, put the nets down. People rent a ride, show them how to use them and everything.
Once the business is taken care of, It's time to help people catch fish.
Yeah, keep her fluke. Good size, big enough you don't have to measure it.
Brian relies heavily on tips to earn his daily keep.
Yeah, like I get paid, but not very much. It's all tips. You know, it's like a waiter or a bartender working for tips, which a lot of people who just come out for one day don't really realize that if I don't get tips, I'm not making any money.
And what are some of the toughest parts of his job?
When I first started, a guy hooked me in the face. It wasn't even really his fault. He was just bringing in a fish, like a bass. It was nighttime. The hook popped off, hit me right here. So that kind of sucked, but it wasn't really his fault. Then every once in a while, I just get people that are drunk and belligerent, you know?
After checking for the pool-winning fish, Brian starts to fillet the day's catch. This is the part that really takes a toll on his hands.
They don't really, like now they're kind of used to it, but when I first started, they would just hurt all the time, every day. Like I'll go home one time, my shoes and my hands would just hurt. But at this point, they're pretty much numb, you know? Don't really bother me.
And what about the constant smell of fish?
Yeah, the smell stinks. Like I get home from work and my money stinks like fish, my clothes stink like fish, my car stinks like fish. So that's pretty disgusting.
So is being a mate a good way to make a living?
Yeah, it's not bad. Like one of these days I gotta find a real job, but I like doing it. Like I started doing it in the summer when I was in school. And somehow now I'm doing this full time, going to school part time, but it's not bad.
All right, we're going to wrap things up the way we usually do, taking a look at some of the comments coming in on our website, and it is all peace and love on the NJ.com message boards today. Thanks to Rebecca Soni, the gold medal winner, nude swimmer. Has the same impression that I had, which was she was just really gracious and great on her interview last night. Way to go, Jersey girl. She seemed like a real sweet girl in her interview. Immediately after the event, she's represented herself, her country, and New Jersey in a very honorable way. Metchik posts, congrats, Rebecca. You have now been added to that long list of amazingly famous people from New Jersey. You go, girl. All right, that wraps up Ledger Live for today. Keep in touch. Send us your photos, your videos, your email. Shoot them to us at ledgerlive@starledger.com or log on and sound off on our news blogs at NJ.com. All right, Jersey, take it easy.